गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सेदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। अस्य श्रीरुद्राध्याय प्रश्नमहामन्त्रस्य अघोर ऋषिः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः संकर्षणमूर्तिस्वरूपो योऽसावादित्यः परमपुरुष स एष रुद्रो देवता नमः शिवायेति बीजं शिवतरायेति शक्तिः महादेवायेति कीलकम् श्रीसाम्ब सदाशिव प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः ॐ नमः शम्भवे च अग्निहोत्रात्मने अंगुष्ठाभ्यां नमः मयो भवे च दर्श पूर्णमासात्मने तर्जनीभ्यां नमः नमः शंकराय च चातुर्मास्यात्मने मध्यमाभ्यां नमः मयस्कराय च निरूढपशुबन्धात्मने अनामिकाभ्यां नमः नमः शिवाय च ज्योतिष्ठोमात्मने कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः शिवतराय च सर्वक्रत्वात्मने करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः नमः शम्भवे च अग्निहोत्रात्मने हृदयाय नमः मयो भवे च दर्श पूर्णमासात्मने शिरसे स्वाहा नमः शंकराय च चातुर्मास्यात्मने शिखायै वषट् मयस्कराय च निरूढवशुबन्धात्मने कवचाय हुं नमः शिवाय च ज्योतिष्ठोमात्मने नेत्रत्रयाय वंषट् शिवतराय च सर्वक्रत्वात्मने अस्त्राय फट् भूर्भुवः स्वरोमिति दिग्बन्धः ध्यानम् आपातालनभस्थलान्तभुवनद्ब्रह्माण्डमा विस्फुरत् ज्योतिस्फाटिकलिङ्गमौळिविलसत् पूर्णेन्दुवान्तामृतैः अस्तोकाप्लुतमेकमीशमनिशं रुद्रानुवाकाञ्जपन् ध्यायेदीप्सितसिद्धये ध्रुवपदं विप्रोभिषिञ्चेच्छिवम् ब्रह्माण्डव्याप्तदेहावसितहिमरुचा भासमाना भुजङ्गैः कण्ठे कालाः कपर्दाः कलितशशिकलाश्चण्डकोदण्डहस्ताः त्र्यक्षा रुद्राक्षमाला प्रणतभयकरा शाम्भवा मूर्तिभेदाः रुद्रा श्रीरुद्रसूक्त प्रकटित विभवानः प्रयच्छन्तु सौख्यं शुद्धस्फटिक संकाशं शुद्ध विद्या प्रदायकं शुद्धं पूर्णं चिदानन्दं सदा शिवमहं भजे। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies shine and illumine our intellects. May we not hate each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Sai Ram, brothers and sisters. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. And we exactly have 90 people on the call. 91st joined just now. And yesterday we were contemplating on the meaning of the context of the first 5 yajus that are in the Namakam, first Anuvakam. So completed the meaning of the third mantra. And today we will contemplate on the literal and the inner meaning of the fourth and the fifth mantras. And most importantly, this week is a very beautiful week coming up before you all. I want us to be aware of the love of two beautiful beings that our God sent out to this earth, our God has chosen. One is Mother Ishwaramma, and Ishwaramma Day is coming on May 6th. Mother Ishwaramma is the one that has inspired Bhagavan to, so to say, to initiate all the service activities that have been happening under Bhagavan's name. She is the divine instrument, and I offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of my dearest mother, Ishwaramma. Thank you, Amma. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram. And then the second is Buddha Bhagavan. And this week also is the Buddha Purnima, Vaishakha Shuddha Purnima. And this is the Guru Purnima, one of the Guru Purnimas. There are 4 Purnimas that come, are Purnima or Purnima, and full moon days that come in the year that represent the divine grace of the Supreme Gurus. The first one that comes in the year is this Vaishakha Shuddha Purnima, which is the day when Bhagavan Buddha, Gautama Buddha, enlightened. Buddha means the enlightened one. Contemplate on the significance of this beautiful Buddha Purnima. And today, when the 5th mantra is completed, we shall know what it is to be that full moon in the context of not having any blemish. This is the significance of Purnima. And as we begin this week, let's now start with the chanting of the first 5 mantras. I request Sister Arleta from Croatia to chant the first 5 mantras. Arleta, brother, can you enable her video and audio?
I'm here.
Yes, please chant the first 5.
Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha. Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhya Mutate Namaha. Yata Ishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanuhu. Shiva Sharavyaya Tavatayano Rudramrdaya.
Yate Rudra Shivat.
Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Gora Papakashini Taya Nastanuva Shantamaya Girisham Tabichakashihi Yamishun Girishanta Haste Bibashyastave Shivangiritratam Kurumahi Gamsik Purushan Jagata Shive Navachasatva Girisha Chavadamasi Yata Naksarva Midjagadayakshmagam Sumana Asata.
Om. That's the 5th. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, Sai Ram. So the mantras are called yajus and ruks. And when there are 2 or 3 in each line, each one represents one yajus When there is only one line, it is a rook, or did I get it opposite? So in this first Anuvaka, there are either couplets or triplets. So we can't separate them. And as we go through, there is one place where a triplet comes. Triplet means 3 lines come. And when the second Anuvaka comes, each line is only one line, and that is an ejus, and these are the rooks. And so the first mantra, the essence of the first mantra, yesterday, as we contemplated, is about Atma, awareness in thought, mind, and action. So I'll share my screen again so that you can all get refreshed. It is very easy to lose track of the mantras without contemplating on them. And you're able to see my screen, I assume. Yes, brother? Are you seeing the...
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. So the very first mantra is salutations. Namaha, Namaha. Salutations for 5 different things. Rudra, Manyu, Ishu, Dhanu, Bahu. 5 things. And what are these? The source. Rudra is the source. Manyu is awareness. Ishu is arrow or thought. Dhanus is manas, which is the mind. And then the shoulders. Integrity of thought, word, and deed, thought, word, and action in awareness of the source. That is the essence of this mantra. Then the second mantra we talked about, the context of now. The next one that is invoked in this is the quiver, which is Sharavya. Now we are saying in the Sharavya, in the quiver, are stored all the instincts. Purity of instinct or positive instinct leads to positive thought, which is positive mind. And therefore, in the purity of positive instincts, thoughts, mind, what we shall become is happiness, and that happiness for ourselves and for others. This is the second mantra. Third mantra that we are talking about is Tanuh Aghora Apapakashini. And this mantra is addressed to Girishanta, which is the one that is the wise one, the illumined one, which is actually nothing but love. When you are that illumined one with love, then your body is actually Aghora, means peaceful, and then Apapakashini, which is radiant without any sins associated with impurity of senses. And then in that context, we shall be spreading this love and the light to everyone around us, just like a light at the top of a mountain, or the sun spreads its light and love to everyone around. This is the third mantra. Now we go to fourth mantra. This mantra is the words of this mantra. As we split the words, you will understand each word, not just chanting the like, because when you chant, there is sandhi, there is visarga, there is bindu, and all those things come into picture. So you lose the context of what each word is. And that's why I am giving this each word separately, so we will understand each word in the Rudram. Probably not done to this extent of detail anywhere. But because you are all chanting Rudram with so much of love, when we chant, we will connect to all these different words and what it means to transform ourselves. That is the most important objective of this Jnana Yajna, is to go inward with the mantra. Yamishum girishantahaste bibharsyastave Sivam giritratang kurumahi gumsi purusham jagat. This is the way it is chanted with intonation. Yam ishum girishanta haste bibharshihi astave Sivam giritra tam kuru ma himsihi purusham jagat. We already went through addressing in these 5 mantras. Who are we addressing? We are addressing Rudra. And in this mantra, there are 2 different invocations of addressing the source. Here it is addressed as Girishanta and also Giritra. Girishanta, Giritra. We already discussed who Girishanta is. Girishanta is the one who is at the top of the mountain. Girishanta means the one who is the end of wisdom, and that end of wisdom is love. So we are saying, oh Girishanta, Yam Ishum, that arrow, Haste Bibarshihi Astave, that you are holding in your hand and about to release, Yam Girishanta, Yam Ishum Bibharshihi Haste Astave, means that arrow that you are holding in your hand and about to release, Astave. O Giritra, make that auspicious so that you do not inflict pain on people and the world. This is the literal meaning. Giritra, tam sivam kuru ma himsihi purusham jagat. O Giritra, make that auspicious and do not, so that you do not inflict pain on people and the world. Now you see, when you look at this from bhakti point of view, from devotion point of view, you are praying to this God who is holding this arrow, bow, and about to shoot. And by the way, Shiva, I have not seen a picture of Shiva holding a bow and an arrow and all of that stuff. Only picture we see of Shiva 99% of the time, or maybe 100% of the time, is holding Trishul. So how is Shiva associated with bow and arrow and all of that stuff? We really don't know. But interestingly, Rudram invokes Shiva with all this bow and arrow and stuff like that. From a literal from a literal bhakti point of view, where bhakti is nothing but fear for God. But we should not fear God. We should love God. But we should fear sin. Daiva, Priti, Papa, Bhiti, which is love for God, fear for sin. But instead, we have the reverse. We have Daiva, Bhiti, we fear God, Papa, Priti, we love sin. But so this mantra is from a fear point of view. Oh God, don't release that arrow in your hand, and and please save me. Don't inflict pain on me and people around. That is from a bhakti point of view. That's fine, because that's the lower level of love for God. If you fear God, you have lower level of fear for God. So, but the inner meaning of this is actually even much more profound. Girishanta, we already understood who is. Giritra, the word tra means protection. Giritra means the one who protects wisdom, the one who protects that awareness. Giritra. And that mantra, now if you put Ishum, what is the word Ishum? We already went through. Ishu is arrow, arrow is thought. And this thought that you are holding, that thought that you are holding, if it is a negative thought, don't release it into what? Action. How does a thought translate into? The thought translates into action. Action is done by the hand, haste. So you get a thought, and the thought becomes an action too with your hand. But if it is a negative thought, please don't release it. Don't release it. Keep it back. Don't release that into action. You get a negative thought, it becomes a negative action. But if that negative thought is what is translated into action, what do we cause to the world and to ourselves? We cause harm. Any negative thought translated into negative action becomes harm, himsa, violent. Therefore, what we're saying, if you protect your awareness, if your awareness is protected, means what? When every thought of yours that is now turned into a positive thought, Shivam Tam Kuru, Shivam Tam Kuru, make that into a positive thought. If you now release that positive thought into positive action, then what are you doing? You are not hurting any people. Ma himsihi. Now here, when we chant the mantra, it becomes higumsi. Higum becomes because of the next context of pa coming. It is Sanskrit Vyakarana, which I won't go into. Whenever there is the ha followed by certain consonants, you will get the ga, higumsi, ma higumsi. It is actually ma himsihi, purusham jagat. So the one who is wise, Girishanta, or the one who is loving, Girishanta, will never allow negative thoughts to become action. Instead, they protect in a protected awareness that is always positive, that negative thought becomes positive so that they do not cause hurt to either themselves, Purusham, Jagat, or to the world. This mantra is, the Rishi is Gautama, the Chandas is Nichrudanushtab Chandas, and Rudra is the deity. So become aware of your negative thoughts. When you become aware of your negative thoughts, it is help ever, hurt never. One of the beautiful saying of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Any questions, comments? Can you please enable the chat, brother, so that people can ask these questions? I think you are all blissed out, right? Yes, Branimir, are you blissed out?
I am.
Okay. Have
And
we?
I enabled the chat.
And brothers and sisters, the point of this Rudram, and I keep saying it again, when you look at these mantras, I'm using that word very carefully. When you look at these mantras, when you look into these mantras, when you use these mantras to go inside, this is the purpose of Sanatana Dharma. Of course, the bhakti aspect of worshipping God in fear is never described in Sanatana Dharma. Worshipping God is through love. Love is what is the most important thing. Now, when you understand or understand these mantras, so to say, what we shall notice is that every mantra is an essence of practical spiritual living. So, brother, somebody is not unable to mute. So, if you can unmute yourselves, you can unmute. Hello. Yes, please unmute if you want to ask a question or a comment. Sairam.
Sairam, Sujata. So, where if Shiva is auspicious, Mangalam, peaceful, why are we addressing to him and asking him to be all this? Or are we talking to our own Rudra or Gora in our own self and telling us to become Shiva? What are we?
Yeah, you sort of answered your own question. So inside every one of us, there is this beautiful source. 99.99% of the time, we are not connected to the source or following the source. That source, Rudra, or here referred to as Girishanta or Giritra, that is always there, asking this reflection. Who is talking to who? The reflection is now addressing the source. Who is the reflection? The reflection is the antakarana, means the mind, the ego, the intellect, and the conscience. That together is the reflection. That is what is causing the reflection. Now this reflection is talking to the source. The reflection is impure. Now go back to the very first slide that I showed, and I keep, if that's a very good question you brought up, Sujata Garu. So you have to constantly reminding in these 5 mantras, what is talking to what? The reflection is talking to the source.
Thank you so much. That explains it. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam. The reflection is talking to the source. Yes. Next,
There
any
is a
questions, comments, any
Yes.
comments that are coming that we need to address, brother?
From Uma, if we have positive thought and negative action, for example, if we discipline kids or doing surgery, will it cause pain? Is that pain for good effect? So is it okay?
Yeah, so the positive intent is to help somebody. So what happens to that physical body of suffering is not what it is. It is really about that help, that is, the hurt is not the physical. Yesterday we talked about suffering. The suffering that we are talking about at the physical or mental level, that suffering of physical and mental level is required in order to enable this awakening, or the intent with which it is caused. The intent is help, the instinct is help, the thought is help. The action that you're doing is to help. But in the context of the recipient, the suffering is there, but the one who is causing the help, the one who is doing the help, the one who is actually inflicting this surgery or inflicting potentially the pain, is basically a passing cloud that would help the other person. Therefore, we have to, when you put it in that context, the question probably is already answered.
Sairam, Shekhar Garu, this is Pradeep from Pittsburgh. Do the names of the rishis signify a deeper meaning? In other words,
No, those are, brother, it is only to acknowledge who is the scientist that has given this beautiful insight or the principle.
okay, but
It's to acknowledge them.
okay. In the preamble, we have Aghora as the rishi, and we have these other rishis that are discussed. Could you elaborate, please? Thank you.
Yeah, within the context of theory of relativity, when Einstein did it, there are so many other scientists that actually participated in putting all of the theory of relativity. No theory of relativity came into existence 100% because of only the vision of Einstein. The law of gravity existed even before Isaac Newton came into picture. So the Newton bringing up law of gravity, Newton had actually already been benefited with so many insights of other scientists to bring that particular theory into picture. So Einstein's theory of relativity did not fall only 100% credited or attributed to Einstein.
Thank you, sir.
Sairam Shekhar Garu. This is Sushma from New York. This is really beautiful explanation. I was always struggling to understand why Shiva is holding bows and arrows and shooting and what the inner meaning was. Do you have any tips on how to control your negative thoughts and stop your actions? Because I always get this question from a lot of my Balvika students, and I tell them, think of something positive, try to divert your mind, but
yeah,
it doesn't really help. And I struggle how to.
Yeah, so this is the crux of it, isn't it? It is not about controlling, it is becoming aware of it. So when you just one second, please. I'll try to elaborate on. It's a very nice, very important question. How do you become aware of your thought? That is the question. When you become aware of it, the thought itself has two things that would happen. Either the thought itself would disappear because it would be irrelevant. 99% of our thoughts are irrelevant. They're neither useful to us nor useful for others. But we keep thinking. It is the nature of the mind to generate these thoughts because the mind is a bundle of thoughts. And so when you become aware of it, aware of the thought disappears. And for example, if a thought comes and that thought is useful for you and useful for others, that thought you need to follow and execute into action. But for us, action perhaps even precedes the thoughts. We are instantly connected to action even before the thought is completely manifested. And case in point of that, I see with people on WhatsApp and on Facebook and everything, even before the posting happens, they will be replying.
There are two questions.
Yes.
Sushma.
Sai Ram
Okay.
Shekharji. I have a question similar to Sister Sujata. If you say that it's the reflection, then or your Atma is asking these questions, there's some
No,
disconnect
no,
in my
no,
mind.
not your Atma. Sorry.
Okay.
It's not the Atma, it is the Antakarana. The
Okay.
mind, the intellect,
The mind.
the intellect, and the Chitta, which is the conscience and the ego. These four are put together as
Okay.
Antakarana. The reflection is happening because of Antakarana. Reflection is happening because of the mirror. If the mirror
Okay.
is taken away, there is no reflection.
So if the mirror is asking these questions, the mirror is assuming that Rudra or Shiva is going to
Separate.
harm, is harming. Why would that happen? I mean, I'm getting a little, just clarify it for me. Maybe I'm
No,
mistaking something.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying the Rudra is harming. I think what is interpreted in the literal meaning is, the reason why I'm explaining the literal meaning is, many people think that there is a God that is there and that God has no other business to forgive other than forgiving our sins. So we keep committing sins and then we want the God to forgive us.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of these mantras, including the sayings in Bible and all these holy texts, they are interpreted with this. There is a lower sinful being that is addressing a higher being and asking this higher being to forgive for all the sins, but keep committing all the sins. So
Okay.
that is the bhakti part of it. And I'm saying, I'm not saying that is irrelevant, etc. Because 99% of people awareness is in that lower awareness. But these mantras are actually not just about that. There is much more higher spiritual context of transforming ourselves, purifying our mind, purifying our intellect, purifying our thoughts, purifying all these, our conscience, so that we shall connect to that which is unchanging. Nirgunam, Niranjanam, Sanatanam, Niketanam, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Nirmala Swarupinam. That's who we are. Therefore, Bhagavan never called us Papatma Swaruplara. Swami always called us Prematma Swaruplara, Divyatma Swaruplara.
Thank you very much.
Sairam, if you are not, Sairam, please mute yourself if you are not asking a question. Yes, Sairam, I think we will.
Sairam, there is a question from Arun. Arun asked, isn't love an emotion? And your slide indicates that actually we have to transcend our emotions. So this is
stay tuned. Please join please join the future study circle so you will get an understanding. Right
and the
now,
second question from Deva, just allow me please. So Giridam means crown kept on the head. Is brain considered as giri?
I have no idea what giri. That is giritam. Yeah, giritam.
Giritam, yeah. Giritam means crown.
Yeah, that is crown. Yeah, giritam means this is not giritam, it is kiritam. So sorry, that's not relevant to this topic.
Okay.
That's kiritam, not giritam. Yeah, this is the other thing that happens when you listen to these mantras and the words. We somehow interpret these in our own awareness, and which is fine. But then when somebody points out, oh, there is more to these mantras than just me as a sinful being praying to some higher being, there is much more to this. And that is the context of bringing out, to going back to Auntie's, Geeta Auntie's question there. So The reflection is the one which is actually wavered and has impurities. And now we are purifying that reflection in the context of these first 5 mantras. With that, we will move to the next mantra, the 5th mantra. Let me share my screen here. And a lot of people are saying, share the slides, share the slides. Don't worry about that. You are all getting the summary of everything that I am talking. Focus on that summaries. Every week you will get a summary. Read those summaries. And there is also a YouTube link that explains beyond what I am explaining, much more elaboratedly. And you will also see in those videos my beautiful children from Sai Center of Sacramento ask some incredible questions, and you will also understand how children are understanding the mantras, and you will be much more, we will all be much more blissful if you see those videos as well. So please, I encourage you not to worry about how do I get the slides. No, there are so many books written, there are so many things said. The purpose we should be focused on study circle or jnana is to now go into these mantras and focus on what is being said and what is being sent, right, Sairam? So don't worry about whether you get the slides or not. So the context of what we are talking now is the 5th mantra is about purity and integrity, and that is what we are going through. So 3rd mantra is over, 4th mantra is over, 5th mantra. 5th mantra is शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छा वदामसि यथा न सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत्. शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छा vadamasi yatha naha sarvam it jagat ayakshmam sumanaha asat. This is another beautiful mantra. Now in this mantra, we are referring to this inner source as Girisha. Now you see, there are 4 Giris that are invoked in these mantras. This is the kind of homework I would like you to take home. How many different ways is the source being addressed? Source being addressed as Rudra, source being addressed as Girishanta, source being addressed as Giritra, source being addressed as Girisha. Girisha. Now Girisha means the one, Isha means the one who resides. Girisha means the one who resides in the mountain. Giri means mountain. Girisha means the one who resides in this mountain. So the one who is residing in this mountain called Kailas. Now I will give the literal meaning so that the Hindus are not lost in this. We continue to want to connect to that name and the form as Shiva, as somebody who is living on a mountain, in a mountain, around a mountain. So this mountain, Girisha, or the one who is residing in the mountain now, Vadamasi, we are now praying to you. How are we praying to you? How are we invoking you? Sivena vachasa. Girisha, tva vadamasi vachasa sivena acha. That is the way you have to construct a sentence in English from Sanskrit. Oh Girisha, the one who is residing in mountain. Vadamasi, we are praying to you with what type of words? We are praying to you with auspicious words. Sivena vachasa. Vachasa means words or invocation or words, with words that are auspicious. Shivena. So that not only Sivena, but also Acha. Acha, you know, in everybody knows Acha in Hindi, right? Acha means very good and auspicious words. Acha vadamasi. Sivena Acha vadamasi. Now, why are we doing that? Yathanaha, so that when we do that, this entire world, Jagadid Sarvam, becomes Ayakshmam, diseaseless, free of disease. Hello, COVID connection here, COVID connection. Ayakshmam and Sumana Sat, so that it becomes, or the whole world becomes disease free and the whole world will have a good mind. Now, you see, this is a very interesting transformational mantra about what now? Purity of word, purity of what we say, how much we gossip, how much we use the words that are meaningless, useless, untruthful. There is no purity of the word. Every breath, when it is translated into this purity of word, and this purity of the word makes the person also disease free. Just think about it. It is the purity of the instinct, purity of the thought, purity of action. Now we are talking about purity of word, purity of form also we talked about. And this purity of this word or purity of speech. Now if you apply the inner meaning, Girisha means the one who is residing in my awareness or in whom my awareness is shining. There are so many beautiful ways of meditating on this, brothers and sisters. Meditate on this. Meditate on Rudram. While you are chanting, just let your mind meditate on Rudram. Then you shall, I'm really urging you, begging you, pleading you, don't lose this opportunity. Just don't use Rudram only for the sake of context of praying to some god so that some worldly desire is accomplished. All those he will take care anyway. But when we use this beautiful Rudram to transform ourselves and to apply it to our lives, that aspect is unrelated to Hinduism, unrelated to any religion, unrelated to the context of fear for God and all of this stuff that we are bombarded with, brainwashed with, that if you don't do this, God will punish you. So the one who is residing in my awareness, the one who is residing in Vedas, the one who is residing in the wisdom, the one who is residing in the scriptures, the one who is residing in the knowledge of all the sages and the seers. O Girisha, when I am indulged in that wisdom, I will always be using soft and loving speech. I will always be using acha, means useful, beneficial, beautiful, sivena, auspicious, positive. And when I am using those beautiful, positive, soft, loving speech, that soft, loving speech and pure speech automatically invokes a good mind. And when you have a good mind, you have good health. If your mind is good, pure, you will be healthy, and also people around you are healthy. How is that? Because if you invoke a bad speech against somebody, you're also hurting them and you're hurting yourselves. First you hurt yourself and then you also hurt the other person. How do you hurt the other person? Because you're inflicting pain on them by using harsh words that are not really in the context of useful to them. But now I will come back. There will be a lot of questions around this and I will come to the questions in a second. So applying this, what is this purity of word? And many of the Sai devotees online, you all know. Sairam, please mute yourself. So in the context of the 9-point code of conduct, that's what you're seeing on this slide, 9 PCC. PCC is 9-point code of conduct. 9-point code of conduct number 7 for Satyasai devotees, use of soft, loving speech with everyone. And 9-point code of conduct 8, avoidance of talking ill of others, especially in their absence. Now beautifully, see Swami's love here, coming Buddha Purnima. Buddha Purnima, this is a beautiful parable of Buddha. A person goes to Buddha and he says, I have something to say about this person who is your disciple. Oh, really? First question, do you know what you are going to talk about my disciple? Is it true? And then the Buddha, do you know it is true what you are going to tell me about my disciple? And then the second question that he asked this person is, if you know it is true, are you going to speak about this person kindly? And then third, if it is true and if you are going to speak about this person kindly, have you introspected if it is useful to you and useful to me? What a beautiful parable by Buddha. What a beautiful thing, right? 99% of the time, if you apply these three principles, I will tell you honestly, we will not be talking. We will not be speaking. Because we always want to involve in gossip. Hey, do you know this person? Da 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 da. He has done this. Really? Do you know it is true? Do you have really truthful information? And see, second, are you going to speak about this person kindly? And then third, by sharing it, how is it becoming useful to you? How is it becoming useful to others? Therefore, there is this beautiful saying in Vedas, Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Speak the truth. Speak the truth that is with love and kindness. If you can't tell the truth that is kind and loving, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Don't speak the truth that is hurtful in the context of not being useful, not being hurtful. So I'll pause there. Sivena vachasa tva girishachavadamasi yathanaha sarvamit jagat ayakshmam sumana asat. This is the beautiful fifth mantra in the Rudram. The first 5 mantras of the first Anuvaka. And what is this saying? I will summarize it. Now, in the context of the first 5 mantras, there is the invocation of awareness in thought, mind, and action. Then there is the positivity of instincts, thought, the mind. Then there is the positivity of the form or the purity of the form. Then there is the disengaging from action that is negative, that comes from a negative thought, help ever, hurt never. And then there is the purity of speech, truthful, kind, and useful. We'll spend 5 more minutes on these very first 5 mantras.
I think Kusuma had a question. Kusuma, if you can unmute yourself. Ah, you are. Okay.
Sairam.
Sairam, brother.
Okay. Sairam Segarji. So I have unexecuted negative thoughts have any effect, or it will go away as it is?
Very nice.
Thank you.
What happens if you have negative thoughts and you don't execute on them? If you execute on them, the consequence is much, much higher than if you just let them pass. They're passing clouds. But don't leave them. Don't leave in the context of observing them. A negative thought comes. That negative thought is offered to that inner source. Agnihotratmane hridayaya namaha darshapurnamasatmane sirase swaha. Whether it is a negative word, negative thought, or a positive thought, especially negative thoughts, put them in the fire of your inner heart. Let them be burned to ashes and never come back into existence. Take a negative thought, put it on Swami's feet, offer it to him. I'll tell you one personal experience. When I was in San Jose, I was experiencing some incredible negativity and incredible, unbelievable negativity at one point of time. And I had no idea what to do. And I was chanting Rudram one time, and I was deeply, intensely meditating on these mantras. And Swami said, negative thoughts, negative feelings from others, take all of them. Every time you come back, every night, put your head on my feet and say, all these negative thoughts and feelings, Swami, I'm just offering into your feet, and just get them grounded. I will take everything from you, clean you up like you have been in a furnace. Don't let a negative thought go.
Thank you, sir.
You know it is a negative thought. Go put it on Swami's feet and offer it to him. He is the Shiva, the halahal. He will take it. This is the significance of offering halahal to Shiva.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I just wanted to extrapolate the same thing that he has said. We are all fine now. We are going in for deep meditative states. We have ample time. Nobody is bothering us. So it's very nice. So when you go out into the external world and you have to deal, the body has the response, you cannot control about negativity. So my question to even Baba, I have heard Swami had high blood pressure. He never used to take medications. So that's one of the doctors whom I worked at Whitefield, they were telling me. So my question is, like, the body is meant to experience all these things, whether we like it or not.
Couple of things, right? Please don't repeat at home what Baba said or what Baba did, because the greatest of avatars like Bhagavan Ramana or Bhagavan Baba, etc., we can't be imitating them, or we try to do what they do, we'll be burnt. What we need to be as simple human beings, the context of what Kusuma is saying is very important. Does that mean that I don't experience negativity? Does that mean that I don't experience negative feelings, negative speech? Yes, we do. And the context of these mantras is that when you do, there is a source. There is a Rudra, there is a Girishanta, there is a Girisha, there is a Giritra. Giritra means, Tra means protection. Giritra means the one who protects your awareness. So how is your awareness protected? By not indulging in, not getting affected by this negativity. So therefore, from that point of view, offer even negativity when you experience that negativity. This is what is called as the purpose of meditation, the purpose of japa, the purpose of namasmarana, the purpose of likita japa, the purpose of Purana Sravana, the purpose of reading Sai literature. All these are really tools to help us clean up that negativity, clean up that mirror, clean up that impurity. Chitta Shuddhi is the word that is used in Shastras for it. Chitta Shuddhi, purification. From what? All this malina, all these mala, all this kind of stuff that is, causing impurity of our mirror, impurity of the water that is reflecting the source. Yes?
Sai Ranagar. This is Ravindra from Charlotte.
Sai Ramra.
When the way I understand, to control the negative thoughts that are arising in you is in your control. But if the negativity come from outside, other people, and where there is no truth in that, what you are saying is, I keep quiet and do prayer to Swami at that time?
Yeah, very beautiful, Sai Rama. So what Brother Ravindra is asking is two things, right? Hey, there is something that is happening inside me, and I know how to deal with it. I become aware of it. I don't execute into action, etc. But what he's also asking is, but there is also negativity coming from outside. Lot of people are throwing negativity at me. What do I do with it? Well, that's a very beautiful question, brother. That is the Buddha story that I was telling about. Buddha was completely pure, but this person who is coming and talking negative about this other person, Buddha had a choice, the power of choice. When somebody comes and throws negativity at you, you have a choice, either to accept it or to reject it. Now, because Buddha is in the center of my mind now, because of Buddha Purnima, Buddha went to beg or take alms at somebody's house, and then one person comes out, and before he gives him this alms, he says, "Hey, you look so beautiful, you look so strong, you look so radiant. Why are you, stupid fellow, begging all these alms?" And he was abusing Buddha like left, right, and center, calling him all these names and why he's begging. Doesn't he have any other work? Why doesn't he go do any work? Buddha was all the time smiling. And after he completed his download, this gentleman, Buddha asked a very simple question. Sir, you brought a plate of food to give it to me. What will you do with it if I do not accept it? And the gentleman said, I'll take it inside my home. And he said, please, I am not accepting whatever you said, whatever you brought out. Please take it back with you. Keep it with you. Don't give it to me. Now, this is in the context of a physical sense. Yes, there are people that are jealous of you. There are people that are constantly trying to, engage in negativity about you or gossip about you, talk about you in your back. First and foremost, you don't do that. You don't talk bad about other people in their back. That is Swami's code of conduct. But if they do, you have no control about it. First, they will keep it with themselves. You don't accept it. But if you feel it is affecting you, that, oh my God, they're talking bad about me, they're doing all this about me, they're bad mouthing about me, they're jealous of me because I have this and they don't have it. You feel it? That feeling is what you go and offer to God. Go tell Baba, go talk to him. Swami, they're doing this to me. I am getting affected by it. Please save me. Please rescue me. I am doing your work.
Thank you. I think that explains clearly. Thank you.
(801). So we will, this week, Satsang very beautifully focuses on this first 5 mantras. Next week on Saturday, we have every second Saturday, we do Ekadashi Rudrabhishekam. And what we will do after the class next week from 7 to 8, we will follow it up with Ekadashi Rudrabhishekam to Panchamukheshwara. And you are all welcome to join. There is no pressure. It's only pleasure. Hopefully this Jnana Yajna is invoking this context of now when we start doing or chanting Ekadashi Rudram, it will invoke in us a very completely different feeling about what these mantras about. And in the context of that, please, you are able to join, please join, please. And that we will, after the class next week, I will let you know how to join that. You will be live streaming that on YouTube. This particular class, don't worry about the slides. You will get the essence of everything that is being shown on slides. And it is also on the YouTube. The same material is on YouTube, and it is under description of each of the links. And it has been already sent to a lot of people. And let us close with chanting these 5 mantras and then close with Samastaloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utotayishave Namaha. Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyamutate Namaha. Yatayishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanuhu. Shiva Sharavyaya Tavatayano Rudra Mrudaya. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Ghora Papakashini Tajanastanuva Shantamaya Girishantabhichakasihe Yamishum Girishantakhaste Bibharishastave Sivam Giritratam Kuruma Higumsi Purusham Jagat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta lokah sukhino bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam.